Hello everyone and welcome back to Shri FC. I hope you all are well and you're good. It's so good to be back now and I hope you all are well and good. I know this is a new setup, so I hope you enjoy it, people, and please do like and subscribe. Today I have a lot to discuss. Michael Olise, a player I've always admired, is closing into joining Chelsea, but as I told in my previous video, I have a bit of doubts, and again I can understand the strategy the team is trying to do, but also I'm a bit worried that where we are going and how many young talents we are really stockpiling. But overall, guys, please do hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And overall, let's have some great chat today. And I'm going to talk about Michael Olise, Conor Gallagher, Christopher Nkunku, and so many more. Big up to see Gaurav bhai in the chat. Thank you so much, Gaurav bhai, to join. It really, really means a lot. It's so good to see you, bro. And massive discussion to be had today. I'll have two guests joining me later in the channel in form of Just Sports and Bilal Bhai. So do go and subscribe their channel. Is the link in the description. So guys, it's massive news to discuss. And the first news I really want to talk about is regarding, it will be on a screen. This is regarding the first news that I want to talk about is Callum Hudson-Odoi. I'm waiting for more people to join. So the first thing I'm going to discuss on is Callum Hudson-Odoi. And guys, we all know how talented Callum Hudson-Odoi was, what a player Callum Hudson-Odoi was, but that injury just killed the boy. He was a fantastic talent who used to have great pace. I can never ever in my life forget that pre-season match against Arsenal where he destroyed Hector Bellerin. But after that injury, it was a career-ending injury for Callum Hudson-Odoi, and he never came back to the player we know. That is the sad part of Callum Hudson-Odoi. And for me, he was tried out at right wing back by Thomas Tuchel. It looked like his career might be revived. Under Frank Lampard, he was given the contract, but it never came to fruition, and his career at Chelsea has most probably ended. He did not impress in the loan spells at, you can say, the loan spells in former Borussia Dortmund, and the time was not really good. So, to be really, really honest, guys, it just never worked. And the best thing for all the parties involved is to let Callum Hudson-Odoi leave and let Callum Hudson-Odoi to find a new club to refine his career. And hopefully, the guy can be back to the player we know. He used to be a player with some massive pace on his feet. He used to be a scary player. He used to dribble very, very well. But the times have not really gone well for Callum Hudson-Odoi, the injuries and everything. And now it's very, very clear to see, guys, he is just sadly not at the Chelsea level. And he has been training with the under 21s. He has not even been on the preseason, which only shows that Chelsea at the moment are doing their best to really sell him. And as you can see here, we all know Marco Silva was massively linked to join Al Ahly, but I think he's refused that move now. And Marco Silva's decision to stay could also change Callum Hudson-Odoi's future. Lazio in advanced talks to sign him, but Fulham have always been keen on signing him and will resume contacts for Cho as Silva is staying. So, guys, as I've been telling you overall for a very, very long time, Callum Hudson-Odoi is a massive talent, and still I believe there's some future for him. But I think it's just not a Chelsea. I think the injury has most probably killed any pace he used to have, and I think that dribbling, that explosiveness has just left Callum Hudson-Odoi. And once that leaves you, it's very difficult to really go on the way he used to play. Callum Hudson-Odoi came on the scene as an explosive player with great feet, with great dribbling, but that sadly ended everything for him at Chelsea. And I hope he goes at Fulham and refines his career, or even to Lazio under Maurizio Sarri, because Maurizio Sarri really wants Lazio to sign Callum Hudson-Odoi, but Lazio owner wants to sign Zakarian, the player we really were after. So I hope Callum Hudson-Odoi refines his career, and I think Fulham under Marco Silva can be a great club to do that. I think sadly Callum Hudson-Odoi for me was never at Chelsea's level. He's a fantastic talent, but after that injury against Burnley, he was just not at that level. And I wish him the best. It was sad to see him injured, and it's sad to see him the way he's playing now. I hope he goes at Fulham and refines his career, and nothing but the best hope for him. Do put your opinion in the comment section, guys, on what you think about Callum Hudson-Odoi, and overall, can he revive his career and play the way he used to do earlier? Because the guy was an explosive player, which that injury just killed. Injuries are sadly such a big killer in football, and this guy was such a good talent, which injuries absolutely killed. So, guys, please do put your opinion in the chat on what you think about Callum Hudson-Odoi, and is it the right move for Callum Hudson-Odoi's career? Should he be going to Fulham, or should he go to Maurizio Sarri in Syria? What he should be going after, and is it a good move for his career ahead? Now, going on to the next news that's coming out regarding Chelsea, guys. Massive news that's coming out, and just waiting for this one. Yeah, Now it's on your screen. Breaking news: Chelsea have offered less than 45 million, including bonuses, to sign Michael Olise. The player is seduced by the project and wants to go. This is by Fabrice Hawkins, and so many reliable sources have come out and said that Chelsea are heavily after Michael Olise and Chelsea want to sign Michael Olise. And guys, being very honest with you, being very very honest, Michael Olise was my, like, this is not a joke, he was my go-to player in FPL, and he is a massively fantastic player. He is so good from set pieces. And I remember yesterday on the stream, Sumesh bhai said that Chelsea is like, we lack scoring goals from set pieces, we struggle for players that can deliver well in the set pieces. In Michael Olise, we will have a guy that can deliver the ball nicely into the box. He can curl the ball nicely into the box. He can score from the outside of the box, and he's a very, very good like set piece taker, which Chelsea have been missing for a very long time. Michael Olise is a fantastic set piece taker, and Michael Olise can do a fantastic job at Chelsea. And people, if you said to me 2 months ago that Chelsea will be signing Michael Olise, I would have snatched a hand off of Michael Olise. But now with Angelo Gabriel, with Mediuke, with Candry Pius, we have signed a very young talent. We already have Diego Moreira. I'm just a bit worried on signing Michael Olise. Then what's the future of these guys and how are their careers going to really go? Like, Angelo Gabriel might go on loan this season, but let's say Mediuke does well, Olise does well, Gabriel does well. How can we fit three left-footed players at right wing? The future is going to be tough to do that, guys. We are going to destroy one of this talent, and again, it's going to be a problem. You can have two players fighting for a position, but you cannot have three players fighting for one position. And for me, Mediuke will be a right winger. You have Gabriel, who is a right winger. You have Moreira, who is a right winger. And Olise is a right winger. And you have four left-footed players in your team. And then you will have to sell two of them. And that could be a massive problem in the future. I think as much as I'm loving this young project by Chelsea, signing the best talent in the world, signing the best youngsters in the world, my only worry with Chelsea is how many players can we keep stockpiling, because signing Olise will mean a Mediuke or a Gabriel or a Moreira, two of these players in the future leaving, and then we could regret selling one of them. That's my only concern. Otherwise, if we did not sign, let's say we did not sign Moreira and we signed Olise, I would have been a very happy person. I am a person that really rates Olise highly. Yes, he's injured right now, but I do believe that injury is not that serious. And I believe Olise will be back. And this is why Manchester City want him for Riyad Mahrez replacement, because Olise is a fantastic player. The way that guy curls with his left foot, the way he puts into the box, the way he delivers it, his crossing last season, his partnership with Eze, his set piece taking ability. Olise is a fantastic player, a fantastic young talent, and a player, guys, I have always rated highly, and a player that guarantees you minimum 10 assists a season. His goal scoring is like still not at a good level, but that can be improved under a manager like Pochettino. So for me, guys, I will again and again say I really like the look of signing of Olise. He's a good talent, and I think it's also good profiling of the signing, because I do really believe that he could be a very, very good signing for a club like us, and he could be a very good player for the future under Mauricio Pochettino. But my just a bit tiny concern is then what's the future of Angelo Gabriel? What's the future of Diego Moreira? What's the future of Noni Madueke? And how many players can we keep stockpiling in one position? For me, I do not see any of these players in the future play as left wing like Leroy Sané used to do. I really don't believe these players can play on that side. And then we could have 4 or 5 players fighting at one position, and that could be a detrimental part in the future of football club and for these young players. So for me, being very, very honest, I like either we should not have signed Diego Moreira and brought Olise. How many players can we keep stockpiling? That is a concern. I do understand the strategy of this season. Moreira will go on loan, Gabriel will go on loan, Mediuc and Olise will fight for the places. But whatever happens next season then? Like this season, okay, Gabriel is going on loan, Moreira is going on loan. It will be Mediuc versus Olise. But what's going to happen next season when Gabriel comes back, Moreira comes back? How many times are we going to like have these youngsters fighting for positions, 3 or 4 youngsters, and then we have to sell 2 of them? That is my only concern, guys, and my only worry regarding Olise, because Olise is a fantastic youngster, one of the top players in the league, one of the best assist players in the league. But my only problem with Olise, being very, very honest, is like he's going to take a spot of the young guys and why did you sign him? So, guys, Gulshan Bhai has joined us. I can just see him right now and just adding him right now here. So, First of all, people do want to subscribe to Just Post. The link is in the description. So how are you, Roshan bhai?
All good, Shea bhai. आप बताओ. All good.
I'm absolutely good, bro. And like going on with this news, what's your opinion, bro, on Olise? And is it the right move for Chelsea to sign him, or again we are stockpiling money youngsters?
I think we should stop piling money on youngsters. First of all, we should try to save Conor Gallagher from leaving because I have been watching the Wrexham game and the Brighton game. He has been absolutely fantastic on the ball. We need Conor Gallagher in our team. He's a wonderful guy. And one news was also coming. Maybe you have also heard. El Wahi. Chelsea was
Yeah,
close to signing El Wahi. I guess goal.com had reported it. And I think we should first of all focus on saving Conor Gallagher from leaving the club. That's all what I can say. Otherwise, it's good. It's good money. It's a handful amount of money. If scouts have, you know, told, or you can say have reported, or you can say, I should say that if they have find something in him, then we should definitely go with him. And that's all about this.
but I think I fully agree with you. I still believe like Olise for me is one of the best players in the Premier League in terms of left-footed players. And first of all, big to Ayush, bro. Good to see you, bro, for a long time. So good to see you, Ayush, bro. And hopefully you're well and good, bro. So, like for me, being very, very honest, guys, like I really, really like Olise. For me, Olise is one of my favorite players from the rival teams because this guy on his best, the way he curls with his left foot is a beautiful sight, is an absolute beautiful sight. How many times I saw Palace last season? Olise cuts inside, puts a fantastic cross, which Palace failed to score. The guy could easily have had 20 assists last season, and this is why Manchester City want him as a replacement for Mahrez. My only concern is that how many young players in Chelsea are going to reject and then we can regret. I don't want us to sell Angelo Gabriel and then him turning out to be the next big player. I don't want us to loan out or sell Meduke and him turning out to be a best player. For me, that is my only concern. And otherwise, the price for me, that's a very cheap price for the players in today's market because today's market is really, really bad, people, being very, very honest. And Ayush Bhai, I think if Manchester United sign Harry Kane, they will be big favorites alongside Manchester City in the Premier League title. I do agree. If you end up with Harry Kane, I think guys you're going to be one of the favorites to win the Premier
Shri
League
bhai,
title.
I've got some stats of Olise.
Yeah, yeah.
That guy has played 179 matches, scored 21 goals, 38 assists in his entire career, and means his average is kind of good.
And I think it's not just that, Roshan, bro. Like last season, I covered FPL a lot, and he was averaging like 3 or 4 accurate crosses per game, and that is insane. 3 or 4 accurate crosses, and then you can put player like Nicholas Jackson, Mudryk maybe the running behind, and you have a fantastic player. So before I go to the next news, I'll take opinion of Gushan Bhai on Olise overall. Like if you are Olise Gushan Bhai, will you choose Manchester City or will you still go for Chelsea right now if you have offers from both the teams?
See, if I'm Olise, I'll definitely go with Chelsea. Manchester City is a club I have huge respect for them, but there's a club that goes on transition. There's a club that goes on, I should say, replacement policies a lot. If Olise won't perform for like 4 or 5 matches, he'll get replaced by some other guy. But Chelsea is a club that trusts on his player. I have already seen certain phases of Chelsea when I was very young. I was 6 or 7. My brother used to watch, and my bigger brother was a fan of Arsenal. And there was a match coming, and I always wanted to become a part of that conversation, and I've always listened. Chelsea has always banked on players. We build players and help them. We actually take the best out of them. उनके अंदर से we take the best talent and we can produce that. And if I am Olise, I'll definitely choose Chelsea because Chelsea is a club which a lot of other guys dream to play because of its past legacy. Definitely, our 2022 season wasn't as good as the Champions Trophy season was. We have played and done better things in the past, but definitely we are going on a transition. We have literally replaced half of our midfield. If I'm not wrong, Christian Pulisic, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, all of them are gone.
Yeah.
So if I'm Olise, I'll definitely choose Chelsea because this is the club that will give me more chances, trust me more. They will also experiment me. I was just looking at some stats of him. Like he can play as an attacking mid also. He can play as a center midfielder also. He can score goals also, and such a kind of all-round kind of compact talent
Hmm.
should be a part of Chelsea.
Like for me, I fully agree with you. I still believe that Olise might overall, if you get the chance, I think he will choose Chelsea if he's really given game time. Otherwise, I think there's no point for him choosing Chelsea because if Manchester City offer the money and getting to replace Riyad Mahrez, like that is irresistible until he's not guaranteed game time. So I think if he's guaranteed to start every game for Chelsea, then I think he should be going to Chelsea. And I still believe he will be a bigger star at Chelsea because Chelsea right now are in transitional phase while Manchester City are dominant force. But I think if I'm Olise and I'm going and seeing the two teams and having Haaland as a striker, putting that crosses into the box, I know that with my ability, I can easily have 25, 30 assists a season because I'll pull the
See,
cross.
some people in the chat might disagree with me and Shevai. They'll tell that Chelsea is at a stage where they are at a situation where they're fighting to get into top 10. Manchester City is a club that is winning every trophy which they are playing. They have won the
Hmm.
treble, but we should also look on the other factors also. If they are a club which has done absolutely good things in the current times, we should also look on the fact that they won't allow him to play above 5 matches with a
Hmm.
decent, or you can say with a poor performance. They'll get in other guys,
Fully
but
agreed with
Chelsea
that.
will
And I
give
still
him that
believe,
game time.
but I still believe that seeing Haaland and I think how many assists the guy can get, I think Manchester City he will choose first until he's not for me granted game time. And I think now going on the next news now, and it will just be showing here just a second. And yeah, the second news is again regarding Olise, and that is Manchester City and Chelsea are keeping an eye on Olise. He has a release clause, but the problem is currently he has an injury, and let's see what happens. That's what people I'm saying. I'm not sure is it a serious injury, but if it is a serious injury, then Chelsea need to be very, very careful because you cannot have injured players in the roster, and Chelsea need to be very careful because we already have so many injury-prone players. And as much as I love Olise, I really feel that Chelsea should be doing their due research before we get on this deal because I love Olise, but that injury can always be a massive concern. And like we have so many players, Reece James, sadly, Wesley Fofana, we have so many players. Thiago Silva at the age he's got that they are a bit injury prone, and I think we bring another player who we are not guaranteed on, and that could be a massive trouble in the future. So this is why for me Chelsea need to be very careful. And now
See,
going on the next, yeah,
you will also look. Sorry, so, sorry to interrupt, Shebhai, but we should also look on some other factors also. See, the amount of talent that Manchester United is buying, the amount of talent that Tottenham has bought in some recent times. They have confirmed Dejan Kuliveski. They have bought in Jordan Henderson, if I'm not wrong. So these
hmm,
clubs who are at the top stage, these guys have been doing some great work in their midfield. If you see a talent, that doesn't mean that he'll give you good every time. For example, if I'm telling, okay, let me give an example of La Liga. Sorry to put in La Liga at this stage, but that's a perfect example for a team. Saul had done good things for Atletico Madrid in 2019-2020 season, but we still loaned him out to Chelsea because it's always not about the talent. It's about combinations also. So, like, if at a stage where Barcelona and Real Madrid have been signing 100 million midfielders and some great guys in the attack, this time we signed in Cescar Azpilicueta from Chelsea just to increase the experience. We are hunting for Marco Verratti. So, the amount of talent that other teams are also buying also affects a player's, you know, coming to a club, especially a Chelsea kind of a club, which I always have dreamt to go to the home stadium one day, Stanford Bridge. That's also one of the factors which people should understand.
but I do understand with that. But overall, now going on the next news now, this was said on July 14, people. So being first of all very clear, this was a statement which was made on July 14. This is by Stackbog recruitment chief Loic Desire, and he said that Angelo will not arrive right away. Chelsea first wishing to integrate him into the club. He will come in August after the tour in United States. So guys, like first of all, we all were thinking that Angelo Gabriel is and Diego Moreira are going to be the guys that are going to go on loan, and that's the way we all Chelsea fans were feeling, to be honest. But then in the preseason, we saw Diego Moreira play, and he's a young, talented kid, but he still looked like a bit raw, so we knew that he was going to go on loan. Then we saw Angelo Gabriel in a halftime appearance against Wrexham, and then we saw him in match against Brighton, and the guy pulled off some amazing passes, and we thought that he should be going part of the season with Madueke, and we all were believing that Madueke and Gabriel are going to be the right wingers for Chelsea, because the way Angelo Gabriel was passing the ball, that goal for Chilwell, that's one of the best goals Chelsea has scored with Mudryk and Jackson in literally a year time. And we all were thinking that Angelo Gabriel and Madueke are going to be right wingers for Chelsea, Diego Moreira to go on loan. But since the news has broke out that Chelsea heavily want to sign Michael Olise and have put in a bid of around 38 to 40 million to sign Michael Olise, it's been very clear that Angelo Gabriel and Moreira could be the players that will go on loan. And I think we did not pay much attention to this statement, but on July 14th, Strasbourg, a club we abide, were very clear that Angelo Gabriel will come to the club after the preseason. And now, after seeing Angelo Gabriel, the fans, we all don't want him to go. But right now, it looks like that Angelo Gabriel will be going on loan to Strasbourg. So, taking opinion of Gushan Bhai here, Gushan Bhai, like, do you think Chelsea should have kept Angelo Gabriel for this season, or do you think it's the right move, even after the way he's played in the preseason, to let him go on loan?
No, it's not a good move for us to let him go on alone. We should have kept him. We should also trust our we should also trust our youth talent. The guys have been grinding in the preseason. Wrexham, absolutely domination by Pochettino and the boys. And the specific, Gulshan bhai, thanks. Yeah, United Road bhai, Anshuman bhai also has joined the chat. So I was telling that we should also some trust. We should also trust our preseason boys. Our U team is also doing very good. Matson is also a guy that I have pointed out that he has some great potential, but we should also take some things in mind that we should keep some guys and give them confidence to, we should give them confidence, and we should play him and include them in our plans, so that in future they'll also become more loyal to us. They'll perform with their full potential. And same thing happened, I guess, in the past also. We have loaned some certain players which weren't to be loaned, I guess. So we should trust some players. We should trust a U team also.
Fully agreed. And first of all, I will say people do go and subscribe to United Road. Big up Anshuman Bhai. Thank you so much, Bhai, for the support. So people, please go and subscribe to United Road. Anshuman Bhai puts out fantastic content. So big up to Anshuman Bhai, and congrats on the victory against Arsenal, bro. And now welcome to another Manchester United fan. We're going to have Chelsea chat today. This is Bilal Bhai from FTWB. So guys, do go and subscribe to Gurshan Bhai channel. Just support, link in description. And do go and subscribe to FTWB, the link in description. So we'll continue on the news, but first of all, big up to Bilal Bhai. And Bilal Bhai, how are you and how do you feel today?
Fine, I'm really fine. Looking onto the news of Mbappe, and I think so many links regarding Mbappe and storylines eventually. And there's a match between Real Madrid and United as well. So looking forward to that game as well, and looking forward to your stream. Uh, what will I tell you about Chelsea, or what can I offer something about Chelsea news or something? So we'll discuss about it.
So I think first of all, I thought it's right time to ask about Mbappe, and we all know what's going on with Mbappe situation. Al Ali, 300 million wages. Then you've got big money. He's getting like 700 million wages and 300 million they're paying to PSG. It's just ridiculous what Al Ali are doing. And I think the first thing it was better to talk about when Bilal Bhai comes here is Kylian Mbappe. You can see here from reliable sources, Telegraph Football, Telefootball, Chelsea have expressed interest in signing Kylian Mbappe, and they may be tempted to join the bidding. So, first of all, going to Bilal Bhai, a fellow Real Madrid fan. Bilal Bhai, the news has dropped out about Al Hilal and going for Mbappe and letting him go for free to Real Madrid. How do you feel about it? And do you think Mbappe might be snapped away by FC Barcelona?
Never, never. I think यार उनके पास खाने के पैसे नहीं है. What are you talking about, bro? They've got nothing to eat as well. So I think they don't have that money. I think if they will have to, if they want to sign Mbappe, FC Barcelona, I think they'll need to offer at least 2 or 3 players, and eventually Usman Dembele might be the one, because PSG would be tempted to Usman Dembele, because eventually he would have been a replacement for Mbappe as well. And in my opinion, he is a replacement at this point of time. you might never know that they might also go for him, Usman Dembele, if Mbappe's deal finalizes before August, probably before, I think August. So they might also go for him. And I think if they would have wanted him, they might also would have to sell. In my opinion, Frankie De Jong is their most probably I think the most highest priced asset, or maybe Pedri Gavi. They would never sell Pedri Gavi, in my opinion. So I think in the end, everything is true. Yeah, obviously, end of the debate, he will go to Real Madrid, but eventually नहीं, लेकिन 700 million wages would eventually tempt any person. भाई देखो ना आप यार, it's only 1 year, in my opinion. It's
Hmm.
only 1 year deal,
And
and
yeah, like
eventually he's getting a
Bilal bhai, like how
700
can you
million.
reject? Like how can any footballer reject 700 million a year?
Yeah,
Your life
eventually
is dead.
it is like, you can say, I think it is about 22 euros per second, in my opinion. 22 euros per second, he'll be getting in every, and 13 million euros per week. That is insane. No player
That
has
is
ever
insane.
earned this. So
But first,
I
guys,
think,
big shout out to Sports Freak. Do go and subscribe to Sports Freak. Anurag bhai puts fantastic content. So do go and subscribe to Sports Freak. He's a
But
fellow
Bilal
Barca
bhai,
fan as well. So, like Barcelona, I don't think Anurag bhai you're getting Mbappe. So now, first of all, coming to Gurshan bhai as well, a neutral in this. So Gurshan bhai coming on Kylian Mbappe. First of all, how do you feel of Kylian Mbappe as a person? Like, do you really feel that this guy is like so divisive, or do you think he's doing the right thing and just holding PSG to absolute ransom?
see, first of all, I would like to answer some questions which people might have in their minds. See, if Kylian Mbappe says to PSG that he wants to go this season, Real Madrid aren't in the race because La Liga is a league which has some set salary cap. Premier League has more salary cap than La Liga. You have seen that Barcelona have suffered the same problem of registering Robert Lewandowski in the past. They signed him. They did everything. Contract was ready, but at the end, they were having some serious problems in registering him. If Kylian Mbappe decides to leave PSG this season, he is going with the oil money. That's what I feel. But as in the Chelsea perspective channel also, we both were talking. Coach and I were talking, and we were telling each other. We were explaining each other. He was explaining me the overall salary cap scenario, and when I told him, see, a player like Mbappe has so much things to do, so much things to achieve in his life.
Hmm.
He goes to Saudi, his career is almost over.
No, no,
He
no, no,
get,
no. I
huh.
think this is where Gushtambe going a bit wrong. He's only going for 1 year. Like he is only going for 1 year, and he's a player who is just 22 years of age. So he can literally go
he's
earn the best
25.
money
He's
in the world.
25. He's 25. I need to correct you.
He's
He's
25.
25.
Oh my god. I still believe he's
That is
22.
why he's not a youngster anymore. So I think this makes me feel one thing, that if he wait, it would eventually waste another year of his career. He's not that young. If he goes to Saudi, he earns that bag. I think earning the bag is not more important than earning
But I think Bilal bhai,
trophies,
like he's
because you are
only like
guaranteed
20,
trophies at
like
Real Madrid.
if he even comes back, Bilal bhai, he will just be 26, like just 26 years of age
No,
and getting
that
the biggest.
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. His competitor Erling Haaland would eventually, in my opinion, win the Ballon d'Or. He'd eventually break so many
Like he
further
cares.
records.
Like,
You can
nahin,
say
but being very honest, Bilal bhai, does he care? Because he will be joining Real Madrid. He has already won a FIFA World Cup, which Haaland, I think, sadly, sorry to say, might not ever achieve in his life. And Kylian Mbappe might win the Euros with France. He might again win the World Cup. So Kylian Mbappe, until and unless the guy has a World Cup, it's very difficult to debate with Haaland.
But
Haaland
बिलाल भाई
might
मैं
put him in the
आपके साथ
Premier
यहाँ
League.
पे ना I would like to contradict with your opinion. I would like to actually ask a counter question to you.
Mhm.
We have seen that in even if Anshuman Bhai is here, he'll mostly tell better about this. Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't feel good at Manchester United. Gives an interview. I should say that he exposes the system of overall Manchester United about how they were treating him. He's out of
Hmm.
the club. Recently, Mbappe does the same thing.
Hmm.
He does give the same kind of interview. He exposes the PSG system. Do you think that Bilal Bhai, PSG will carry him for one more year
no,
at
they
this
would
stage?
not. They would eventually not. I think that would be more difficult for them to carry Mbappe, because there would be so many questions. In every question, in every debate, if Mbappe scores a goal, if Mbappe does not scores a goal, they would eventually ask, why did Mbappe did not score a goal? There might be controversies in the dressing room, this and that. Controversies would be made in the media. You know it, Lake Whip, and that I think I forgot the name of another, those mouthpieces of PSG. They'd eventually make so many controversies. They'd eventually tell at one point that Mbappe has agreed a contract, Mbappe has agreed this and that. So eventually there'd be much more controversies, which would eventually be very difficult for PSG to handle. And that is why PSG are trying to offload him. And I think this is probably the biggest reason, and eventually the financial reason also comes in, because they would eventually have to pay so much, and Mbappe when leaves for free,
Hmm.
they'd eventually, I think they'd be losing 600 to 700 million, because they've given him a contract, so loyalty bonuses,
I think, and Real
salaries,
Madrid,
everything.
like they are losing the biggest asset they've got. Like PSG are losing the biggest asset which really runs the club. Like let's be honest, and this is what I was discussing with Anurag Bhai as well. That the two biggest future of football right now are Mbappe and Haaland, and they are literally losing one of them. But I do
Sheba,
agree with.
you should also agree with one thing that PSG made Mbappe a star. They
Yeah,
had Neymar.
absolutely.
See, they had Neymar. Neymar was, in my opinion, was overshadowed by Mbappe at
Hmm.
certain stages. You look at the stats of Neymar, he has done more for the club than Mbappe. Today, nobody's talking about Neymar.
Hmm.
So PSG have, put in that stepping stone of Mbappe's career success, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
But I think, see, we can say for so many players, Ronaldo was made a super sub by Manchester United. Like this can go on because the clubs and the clubs only use player for profits, and the players also use the club for profit. Like now is professional, and I don't think many players care about the club. It's only about money, 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 and the clubs only care about selling, selling, selling. So that's the reality of football. But overall, being very honest in Mbappe Haaland debate, until and unless Mbappe will have Euros, the World Cup, he will not even care for the Ballon d'Or because the guy has achieved everything in football. And once he goes to Real Madrid, he wins the Champions League with young team like Valverde, Bellingham, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo. The guy has completed football at the age of 27, 28. So, like, let's be honest, even Ronaldo has not completed football. Ronaldo still does not have a World Cup. It's sad and disappointing, but that's a reality. Messi completed it at his last stage of his career. Like Mbappe will do it at age of 27. The guy could literally be at 35 of age. Like I don't think his legacy could be matched how much time this guy has got in his hand. Him and Vinicius Junior. But Vinicius Junior has to win a World Cup with Brazil. Otherwise, Mbappe is so clear. And before we
But
leave,
Bilal bhai, I would like to ask you a question. If at this stage, because you are more into that thing, Mbappe thing, I'm not into that Mbappe thing. I have been looking on some more midfielders kind of thing. I was looking for Hojberg. I was looking for Hojuland kind of more stuff because Atletico Madrid have been close to signing those players. So I would like to ask you a question. If at this stage PSG says to Mbappe कि अब खत्म हो गया, it's done. So how will Mbappe come to? Will Mbappe come to Real Madrid, or will he accept the Saudi offer?
अगर Real Madrid offer put करते, he definitely be in. Although we all know the fact that Real Madrid probably has a contract agreement, pre-contract agreement of 2024, he'll be joining them as a free agent. Despite the fact, if Fiorentino Perez acts now, like honestly, in today, next, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, he can act. Mbappe would be waiting for him, because obviously his entourage and Fiorentino Perez. Yeah, honestly, if you look into this now, there are so many bigger things in this aspect. PSG have used their most important thing, which is their media, and eventually they are most probably trying to force Real Madrid to bid for Kylian Mbappe. And despite the fact, yeah, I know, because Fabrizio has himself reported, and that is a concrete offer of Al Hilal. But the other inquiries, the Barcelona meeting with the PSG entourage and everything for Mbappe, the MUFC links with Kylian Mbappe, these are already coming out of the PSG mouthpieces. Eventually, that is the fact. And for this reason, to just force Real Madrid to bid for Kylian Mbappe, they're trying every possible thing. They're trying to test Real Madrid's patience and test Fiorentino's patience. So eventually, that would be really important to see if what Real Madrid does in the next 2 days, in the next 1 or 2 days, because it's very important to act as soon as possible. Because according to many reports which I've been reading, PSG have accepted the offer, and eventually I'd be discussing on my channel stream as well. So PSG have accepted the offer, and they're just waiting for Al Hilal to accept the personal terms with Kylian Mbappe, and then it would be all
सो
here we
बिल्कुल
go.
भाई ऐसे
But
तो
I think
फिर इन
Bilal bhai,
फ्यूचर.
like being
ओके.
very very honest, see, as much as see we can all say that Real should be going after him, but the smart thing is to wait for him for free. It's not like Real they need him urgently. Like biggest priority for Real is still getting a striker that
I
can
think
score regular
I
goals.
always say one thing. I always say one thing, that Mbappe needs Real Madrid more than Real Madrid needs
Exactly.
Mbappe at this point of time.
Hmm.
That is my point.
So now, guys, taking final opinion because this was about Chelsea now. So let's take final opinion of coming on to Kylian Mbappe on Chelsea. So first, I'll give my opinion. I think, see, Kylian Mbappe is a player from heart I can never say no to because the guy is one of the best footballer in the world and one of my favorite footballers. But again, Chelsea is a team which is not going to win Premier League anytime soon. It could be 1 2 years. I still believe. I know I'm making a big statement, but in next 5 6 years, it will be City, Chelsea, and Arsenal fighting for the Premier League titles. But I think for the next 2 years, it's going to be City, United, Arsenal, and then will overlast Manchester United because the squad is much more younger and much more energetic and fit. But I think in the future, I think we still need time and patience and transition. So this is why for
बट
me,
श्रेय भाई, आपने अपने चैनल पे, मैंने आपकी स्ट्रीम देख रहा था, यू मेड एन ओपिनियन दैट वी कांट साइन हैरी केन एट दिस स्टेज. If you
hmm,
can't sign Harry Kane at this stage, how will you sign Kylian Mbappe?
exactly. But it's two different stages. Like Harry Kane is the one which will never come to Chelsea because of the rivalry, and I think he will lose Tottenham fans forever in his life. Kylian Mbappe is a different case. If Todd Bowley offers him the biggest wages in the world, he might not refuse. But to be really honest, why will Kylian Mbappe want to come to a club which will take 2 years to win a title, Champions League football? And as a Chelsea fan, as a player, I love him. But what's his influence is going to be in the dressing room is a concern to me. That's the only problem with Mbappe. And this is why, for me, he's a player that's ready made for Real Madrid. Chaotic, highly ambitious player who wants to win everything. On Vjalovic, I've always wanted Vjalovic and Iraq by like I really want to sign Vjalovic, but Chelsea have just moved away from him, so I don't think we are signing him. And I think we should really be after Vjalovic. But I think the way Nicholas Jackson is playing now, I believe we should give the young guys the time in a season where, like being very honest, my ambition is top six. The way I think we are developing right now, we are doing a good job, but United, Newcastle, City, Arsenal, United are all above us in the table. So
बट
now
श्रेय भाई,
coming on,
क्वेश्चन
yeah,
था
push
मेरा
through.
आपसे. एक मेरा क्वेश्चन था आपसे या बिलाल भाई से भी. ये क्वेश्चन मैंने एक्चुअली रेज भी किया था बहुत चैनल्स पे, और बहुत अच्छे अच्छे ओपिनियंस आए थे. सी एट दिस स्टेज, मैं थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे मैं क्लियर एम्बापे वाले पॉइंट को कंटिन्यू कर रहा हूँ.
Yeah, yeah.
A young player under 30 who has some great potential, great talent with him, goes to a smaller league, scores 50 to 60 goals a season, gets the Ballon d'Or. Is it right?
No. Bilal bhai?
What was the question? I was
I
sorry,
think
sorry,
Gurshan
sorry.
bhai is asking that let's say a player like under 30 years of age with big potential, he goes to a small club and scores a lot of goals, like 50, 60 goals a season. So will it be right for him to win the Ballon d'Or?
No, I think as far as if his team achieves a lot bigger, then
Hmm.
it is good for him. But if it is not, and he wants to fulfill his dreams of playing for the biggest club eventually, if it is his biggest club, I'm not talking about Kylian Mbappe, I'm talking about a specific player. So
Hmm.
if it is his dream of playing for a bigger club, so I think why not he should go over there. And if I don't know if I'm misinterpreting the question, or I don't know,
नहीं, मैं
but
आपको एग्जांपल के साथ बताऊं क्या?
बताओ बताओ
What I really mean. Kylian
बताओ बताओ
Mbappe
बताओ.
goes to a Saudi league. वहां पर डेफिनेटली थोड़ा सा कंपटीशन कम रहेगा. प्रीमियर लीग, लीग वन, नहीं, नॉट लीग वन, बुंडेस लीगा, ला लीगा, इससे थोड़ा कम रहेगा. प्रेशर भी कम रहेगा. वहां पे गोल्स अच्छे से स्कोर करेगा. ही विंस द बैलन डॉर. इज इट राइट? क्योंकि ऐसे तो फिर इन फ्यूचर ऐसे कोई भी प्लेयर कर सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे भी रूबिन नेवेस 28 का है, वो वहां पे गया. he'll do he'll definitely do good in Saudi league as compared to Premier League. तो क्या ये आपके टर्म्स में सही है कि प्लेयर्स जो हैं जिनके पास इतना अच्छा सा पोटेंशियल है, वो लोअर लीग्स में जा जाके गोल मारेंगे एंड दे विल विन द बैलन डोर इजीली?
नहीं जीत सकते, ऑब्वियसली नहीं जीत सकते। आपको, वही तो मैंने आपको बात कही कि ऑब्वियसली आपको ट्रॉफीज जीतनी पड़ेंगी। आपको बिगर ट्रॉफीज जीतोगे तभी अल्टीमेटली आप बैलन डोर की कंटेंशन में आते हो ना। क्यों क्यों
Hmm.
मेसी उसकी डिबेट में अभी, उसकी क्यों हालैंड अभी डिबेट में बैलन डोर की? क्योंकि
Hmm.
हालैंड हैज won the treble, bigger trophies,
Exactly.
bigger team, and eventually in that bigger team he was that bigger superstar who eventually
Hmm.
scored a 50 to 53 goal season. And eventually Messi, who won the World Cup, not even he wasn't carried by his team, he carried his team and eventually went on to score so many goals and assists. So eventually that is the debate. और इफ बैलन डोर, वैसे तो आप छोटी लीग में जाके आप बहुत ही आपके लिए मुश्किल है कि आप जीतो अल्टीमेटली, लेकिन
Hmm.
आपको बिगर ट्रॉफीज के लिए आपको अपने आप को वो रखना है कि आप बिगर ट्रॉफीज जीत रहे हो तभी आप बैलन डोर की कंटेंशन में ज्यादा आते हो।
Fully agreed with that. And now going on to Chelsea news now, because I think we have taken a lot of time on Mbappe. Now it's time, because Mbappe पे तो बात चलेगी, so we can even go for 5-6 hours. So I think now it's time to go back to the Chelsea news, and it's very clear that Chelsea is going to send Angelo Gabriel on loan to Strasbourg to first of all come into Gurshan Bhai here. Gurshan Bhai, like, do you think is it right? Like you said to me, it was not a right decision. We should keep Angelo Gabriel. But overall, do you not feel that if Chelsea sign Olise and Mediuke, the loan could really help him a lot?
या ही फॉर अ पर्सनल रीजन उसको गेम टाइम किसी और क्लब में ज्यादा मिलेगा, डेफिनेटली दैट्स अ पॉइंट। बट अगर ही इफ ही स्टेज इन चेल्सी, he'll provide you backup talent which is and he's gonna challenge the other players जो कहीं ना कहीं प्लेइंग 11 के अंदर खेल रहे हैं।
Mm-hmm.
Like I always believe in the same theory कि when you buy backups of such quality that they challenge the current players who are playing in your squad, head on आके बोलते हैं कि यार मेरी जगह बनती है, मेरी जगह बनती है, तो फिर वो जो प्लेइंग प्रेशर रहता है ना, उसके चक्कर में प्लेयर्स परफॉर्म वेल। So Angelo Gabriel is that kind of a talent. If he stays even in your bench, he'll challenge other guys, and other guys will indirectly perform well because that will create a pressure on him कि यार मार्क पोचेंटिनो भले नया मैनेजर है, ठीक है, everything is there, but if you don't perform, we have better guys in our bench which will replace us. That's the thing. It will in turn create good performances out of it.
Hmm. And now, Bilal Bhai, as a neutral, Bilal Bhai, as a United fan, what do you feel like Chelsea are trying to sign Olise? We already have Angelo Gabriel who can hit from his left foot. Mediuke, you would have seen him last season when he played United. So, do you feel Chelsea is doing right to go after Olise and loan Gabriel for current? Or is Chelsea doing too much stockpiling youngsters and it could be a problem for us in the future, Bilal Bhai?
I think if you have squad depth, then I think it's not a worry to send some of your guys on loan. I don't know really much about Angelo Gabriel, so if I know about Michael Olise because Olise's deal with either probably Man City or it was Chelsea. Man City links were also coming because Fabrizio himself posted. So I think uh, Michael Olise, in my opinion, is a good player, and I don't know much about Angelo Gabriel. I haven't seen the preseason games of Chelsea, so I don't really know much about him. But if he is good, he can be that squad rotational player. I know Noni Madueke. He's a very good player in my opinion, and England under 21 in probably na. So I think he's a young player as well. So probably if you can develop, if Angelo Gabriel develops and goes in any team and develops well and eventually comes to Chelsea next season, so eventually that would be good. But if he doesn't performs well, it would eventually lead to a loss of confidence in him as well and in Chelsea as well, because Chelsea might eventually think that no, he might not be, he did not perform in loan, and eventually we need to sell him or probably look onto some other replacements or probably stuff like that. I know he's very young at this point of time, but eventually that would make sense for me if it becomes a loan deal and he develops over there. So I think that would be a good one.
Fully agree with Bilal Bhai. And people, again, I'll say, do go and subscribe to Bilal Bhai. The link is in the description, FTWB, and do go and subscribe to Just Post. The link is in the description. So now I will say just one thing on Angelo Gabriel. I believe we are doing the wrong move overall, but right now is the right move. If you're going to sign Olise, sadly, two players will have to go on loan, and Angelo Gabriel and Diego Moreira make the most sense. But I think signing Diego Moreira and now signing Olise does not make sense. For me, I love Olise, but how many players can we keep stockpiling after stockpiling? I do love Olise, so I'm going to enjoy his signing, but it will be very interesting to see in future how are Chelsea going to use Mediuke, Gabriel, and also Olise. The three players, talented players, two of them on the bench. That is gonna not be good. That is not gonna be good. And now going on the next Chelsea news now, and hopefully this is a Chelsea news. And Ivan Toney is considering switching his agents to CAA Stellar. That will be regarded as a sign Toney is preparing for a transfer to a new club, perhaps even before the ban ends. Tottenham, Chelsea, and Manchester United link. So first of all, coming to Gulshan bhai, what do you feel about Ivan Toney overall? Like we all know he's banned till January from footballing activities. So do you feel signing Ivan Toney right now makes sense for Chelsea overall, or do you think that it could be a wrong move considering the guy's out of football for at least 4 or 5 months as of current?
See, even Toomey had done very good things in 2022 season before getting banned. He was one of those guys who were dominating the Premier League scoring charts. He has a great potential, but at this stage, if you are looking at a player who hasn't played football for so long, I know he might be practicing somewhere, but a player who has come from a ban kind of a thing will maybe impact Chelsea's profile overall, because already we have other center forwards in our team. Christopher Nkunku is there. There are other guys also. If we manage to stay Conor Gallagher in our team, I guess there is no purpose of buying or even trying to do something for Ivan Toney. Might be Manchester United be interested in him because they are looking for a center forward. मार्कस रैशफोर्ड एक लेफ्ट विंगर था, उसको इन्होंने खिलाया वहां पे as a center forward. They bought in Wout Weghorst on a loan. So those guys might be interested, but being a Chelsea fan, I might not agree with this. That Ivan Toney should come. In future he comes, he performs well for a year or two. We can definitely sign him. We should definitely sign him in future, but not at this stage.
And now coming to Bilal Bhai, Manchester United have went from Harry Kane to Hoyland to no one to Hoyland, and now this Linka coming. But let's be honest, if Ivan Toney was not banned, he would have been my number one choice for Chelsea and one of the top choice for United. But with that ban, everything has changed. Bilal Bhai, like if Ivan Toney, like the way it's going on, will you have him in Manchester United right now? Even if the ban continues, will you have him for the future signing?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this links always United are linked to every other player. You have seen this fact since a long time. As I've been a kid and I've been a teenager and I'll be an adult this month as well. So I think this United getting linked to any player in the Premier League, out of the Premier League, is always a thing that would remain constant, and eventually uh, that would mean that I think Ivan Toney to United does not make sense for me at this point of time, in my opinion, because I think that is an image will be created because United already have some drama in itself because of Mason Greenwood, and buying another player of the same profile, same kind of things, gambling and stuff like that. I don't know, but it would eventually affect United's image and
अभी तो
eventually
एंथनी
the
भी
dressing
चार्जेस
room
लगे
as
थे
well.
ना. अभी तो
नहीं,
एंथनी
एंथनी के
भी
वो नहीं हुए,
चार्जेस.
प्रूव नहीं हुए.
ठीक.
But I think overall,
तो
see, guys, being very honest right now, it's better we don't talk about it because it's still a very sensitive matter. Because being very, very honest, like with Anthony and the other player, but being
I
very,
think we
very honest,
should.
like
I think we should not never talk about them until it is the until if he's found guilty, until if he's found innocent or
yeah.
probably like that. Because in that Ferdinand, in that Benjamin Mendy's case, he got destroyed by the media, by the allegations, everything. He lost his footballing career. He lost
But
his
again, Bilal,
confidence,
bhai, really, really
everything.
sorry. I think being very, very honest, I think why we should not be even talking about any case is I think our all channels. I think we should keep on football because these are some matters I think we could never really speak about because these are very like divisive and sadly we cannot say anything here because nobody knows what's really gone, what's really happened, and it might look insensitive, it might look really sensitive. Nobody knows. So it's not just my channel. I will say any channel. These are some matters that
Hmm.
I think we should not be talking about. But one thing is for sure Manchester United, see, even as a Chelsea fan, I'm saying it, Manchester United is the biggest club in England and the most selling point. You can put any link onto Manchester United and you'll get reactions from the fans and everything. But Bilal, by like being very honest, like just taking it away, like let's say this is a concrete link. Like, will you have Ivan Toney? Like, Holland is a young player. You use him this season, and Ivan Toney then comes back in January. You sign him for next season. Do you see this strategy being right, or will you wait for someone else next season?
I think no, the signing would be this season, this summer, and it would be eventually in August probably. And the Rasmus Højlund deal is actually happening. United will be going with a bid. In my opinion, it would be 50 by Gushan bhai. Thank you so much.
Bigger question by people.
बहुत अच्छा लगा है आपसे मिलके and definitely will meet with you in the future
Bigger
as well.
question by people. Please again, I'll request do go and subscribe to Just Sports. Link is in the description. Thank you, question by. It was a pleasure to have you on. Big up.
Thank you, Jay bhai. Thank you.
So Bilal bhai, please continue with the point.
So I was telling the fact that it would be eventually a deal which would be finalized. But I think it should be finalized between 50 to 55 million because Rasmus Holland United would not wait for January or probably next season because United know one thing I've seen for every other footballing fan if he has seen Manchester United operate, United lack goals eventually. United are defensively good at this point of time because of Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane, but the scoring charts are really bad because only we cannot only rely on Rashford, we cannot only rely on Bruno Fernandes to pile up the goal charts, but we need an attacker, we need a proper number 9 who can score goals, who can be that threatening position in that box, who can operate well with Andre Onana himself, because Andre Onana is a very good goalkeeper, and eventually those link up plays with him and the way Ellison plays to Salah and stuff like that. So I think that would be interesting to see. And in my opinion, Ivan Toney will not be coming to United. At least I think he'd not be coming to United. That's it in my opinion.
So, like overall, see my opinion and see first of all, big up to Chelsea perspective. So good to see you, bro. Thank you so much to join. People and who are in the chat, please go and subscribe to Chelsea perspective, one of the best Chelsea contents. So big up, thank you so much, bro, to join. It really means a lot. And see my humble opinion, Ivan Toney. See, being a very honest person overall, I really love Ivan Toney. If before the ban you said me Ivan Toney for 50 million, I would have said please take the cash and get him because I love Ivan Toney. But my problem right now with Ivan Toney as a person is right now he's banned till January and he cannot play football till January. See, the stomach, the weight problems, everything will increase. Let's not really take that away. It's not even a joke. He will not be fit. Then you bring him in January, you make him fit for the next 3-4 months, you improve him mentally. The season is over. Manchester United can survive without a striker. They still have Rashford. Chelsea cannot survive without a goal scorer. And I think we signing a player for next season, the guy who is out of football for 8 months, he's not even playing football. And Kuku last year we signed, but the guy was playing football. He was fit. Ivan Toney is not playing football. He like nobody knows psychologically how he's feeling with the ban and everything. And I think when you've got options in the market like Mitrovic and bigger options like I know it's not going to be possible, but Harry Kane, we still have Nicholas Jackson. I think Chelsea
Mitrovic, in
and
my opinion,
Gallagher.
is going to Saudi. Mitrovic is going to Saudi.
I
He will
think
not be
for
staying in
me,
Premier League.
it's there could still be a surprise in the spanner, but I do agree with you, Bilal. But I think Mitrovic could do a job for both of our teams. To be honest, like for a cheap signing, the guy can do a job for both of our teams, Bilal. For you, you've got Rashford, you've got players like Bruno that can assist him. In Chelsea, you've got Madueke, you've got players that can cross into the box. But overall, for Ivan Toney, I have a lot of respect for Ivan Toney, my go-to FPL player and my wonderful player, great striker who had everything, good holder, play and score. But sometimes in life, when you do something which you can regret later on, that's what happened with Toney. Toney was going to sign for a big club this summer, but that ban has ended everything. He will have 100% signed for United or Chelsea. No way United will sign Holland above Toney or Chelsea will sign any other player over Toney. Toney would have been playing for one of our clubs right now, but that ban for me sadly ended everything with him. But I think Tottenham, if they lose Harry Kane this season, for them in the future, Toney can be a very good choice. And Tottenham, let's be honest, like even if we can joke, they are a much bigger step. Like it's not even a comparison between them and Brentford. So I think that could be a very good time. So now Bilal Bhai, coming on to the next Chelsea news, and this is not the Chelsea news. So coming on to the next one, we had a big discussion on Mbappe. So now coming on to the next news, Conor Gallagher, a player that's very divisive in the Chelsea fan base. Some people love him, some people hate him. And the rumors which are coming out by a very reliable Chelsea reporter, Nizak and Silla, that Chelsea have not offered him a deal and are accepting the offers in the market. Gallagher accepts the decision, and Tottenham and West Ham are the club that want him. First, I want to take a bit of opinion from the rival fan because Chelsea fans are always divisive on Conor Gallagher. I want to see the opinion of a rival. So, Bilal Bhai, how much have you watched of Conor Gallagher? Do you think that Chelsea are doing the right thing to let him go, or do you think that it could become back to bite us in the future?
Achha, I think he's a pretty decent player in my opinion, not a bad one. and not the very best one in my opinion. So I think he can be that squad rotational player in my opinion, and he has been the fact that under I think Tuchel or probably under Potter, he was one of the most playing. I think he used to play. He used to score a goal as well in that in the previous season as well. In the 1 or 2 games, he scored a goal when Chelsea were lacking goals as well. So people started saying that he can operate as a second striker as well, and with alongside Christopher Nkunku and probably. And now the news have come that Conor Gallagher is set to leave Chelsea. So I think if Chelsea can get a 45-50 million, but Chelsea are selling that all those players who have been with Chelsea for 3 to 4 years now. Probably I think Conor Gallagher is with Chelsea from I think 3 or 4 years probably, and they've
Yeah,
sold
but I think
Mount,
he has
they've
mostly been a
sold
loan.
Kai
So
Havertz. Hmm?
he has mostly been a loan. So this is his first proper year at Chelsea.
Okay, okay. So I think he could have been, I think, a good option for squad rotational policy. But I think if it is Pochettino's decision, and you cannot really, I think the way I speak for Eric Ten Hag, I think the way you should be speaking for Pochettino as well. If my manager backs him, I'll definitely back him, and if he does not back him, and if he wants to sell him, and probably bring another one or a new midfielder who can operate well according to my system, according to my manager's system. So I think definitely you should sell him if that is the
But I think
case.
Bilal bhai, the reports are that Pochettino loves Gallagher, but he also accepts the decision of the club.
So is the club or is the club or Pochettino different, or what is this
No, no.
happening?
I think the thing is that Chelsea want to sign Olise and Kudus. So because that has to generate the
Ah.
funds, they want to let Conor Gallagher go for 40-45 million so they can sign Kudus and they can sign Olise. So
Hmm.
Pochettino loves Conor Gallagher, but he understands the club
He can
decision.
generate funds. He can generate funds. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I think
So do you
that
think we
will
are doing the
eventually.
right thing, like Chelsea going after Kudus and letting Conor Gallagher go and going for Olise?
I think Kudus has not got that experience of Premier League in my opinion, but I think uh, हाँ क्या नाम था यार इसका अपना कॉनर गैलेगर कॉनर गैलेगर इन माय ओपिनियन आई थिंक ही हैज गॉट दैट प्रीमियर लीग एक्सपीरियंस एज वेल और क्रिस्टल पैलेस में भी आई थिंक हाँ मुझे भी याद आ गया कि उसने पिछले सीजन क्रिस्टल पैलेस में खेला था आफ्टर चेल्सी से पहले वाले सीजन में तो अल्टीमेटली आई थिंक इन माय ओपिनियन कुडूस कैन बी अ गुड ऑप्शन ही इज बीन वेरी वेरी गुड अंडर एरिक टेन हैग सिस्टम एज वेल एंड इन आईएक्स एज वेल सो आई थिंक बट प्रीमियर लीग एक्सपीरियंस मैटर्स अलॉट ना थोड़ा सा क्योंकि चेल्सी के आई थिंक पोचेटिनो के अंडर भी उसने काम नहीं किया है खुद उसने और ओलीसे आई थिंक ओलीसे के लिए जा रहे हैं तो ओलीसे के लिए इट इज आई थिंक इन माय ओपिनियन इट इज गुड फॉर चेल्सी बिकॉज ही इज I still remember his iconic free kick in that late free kick equalizer against United. So I think he's a good player for Chelsea. But I think Kudus, it's a gamble. It's a 50-50 situation. If he works, he'd be very very good alongside Christopher Nkunku and Michael Olise or probably Raheem Sterling. And but if he does not work, then it would be paisa pani mein.
So fully agree with that. And see, my opinion on Conor Gallagher is I will always love Conor Gallagher. For me, he's a player that gives everything for the patch. But on this channel, I've been saying for a long time, I love Conor Gallagher, but he's still a very technically deficient footballer who is a very, very good person who gives everything on the pitch. And if Conor Gallagher stays, I have no problem. But again, if the club wants to cash on him, it's a no problem. I think for me, I said to many people that once Mason Mount leaves, Conor Gallagher might stay at the club because you need the type of player in a team who can score goals, press highly, intensity. And the way he played against Brighton, the way he intensively pressed opponents, won the ball, I will love to keep Gallagher this season. But again, if Chelsea want to go more creative, they want to get the money on Gallagher, I don't blame them. But I think it's a deal where I will be happy with Gallagher staying, but I'll also take the 45-50 million wicket because that's an offer you just cannot refuse. And now, going on to the next news now regarding Chelsea, and this is regarding again Conor Gallagher. And Chelsea are ready to sell Conor Gallagher despite his preseason appearances. It's a direct battle between Tottenham and West Ham for a signature. He'll cost 35 million with 2 years left on his Chelsea deal. So coming on to Bilal Bhai on a different question on this one. Bilal Bhai, like, do you think like he will be a good signing overall for Tottenham or a West Ham? And can he really elevate them this season? And if you are Conor Gallagher, I think you're choosing Tottenham or you're choosing West Ham.
I think I'd choose Tottenham. I'd give a favor to Tottenham because I think West Ham have not got that culture. I think, or probably You know the fact that West Ham need a replacement of Declan Rice, and I think he cannot be a replacement. He cannot be a proper replacement in my opinion. And Tottenham, I think Tottenham have got those players. I think it's the top six rival of Chelsea as well, and I think it can compete for the Europa League. And probably if Conor Gallagher has those ambitions that I want to play in the Champions League, Europa League, probably, and Tottenham might have an out and out chance to that as well. So I think he should be going there. And Højbjerg's linked to Atletico Madrid, and Højbjerg might be joining Atletico Madrid. So I think this would eventually pave a way for him to in the starting 11 as well. So I think that would be a win-win situation for both Chelsea and Conor Gallagher as well. So I think that is if I'd be Conor Gallagher, I might have chosen Tottenham over West Ham.
Do you think that he will overall be a good signing for Tottenham, looking at the way they want to play under Postecoglou?
No, I think it's a new manager, and I think new ambitions, and in my opinion, new formation, and probably so. I think they might play decent this season if looking onto the things, and if they make perfect signings. I think Conor Gallagher can be a good signing for them, in my opinion, and he can work. I think that would he would not give a 10 to 15 goals or assists season. I think, but he can operate well in the midfield, and he can operate with. I think Harry Kane. He can be a very very good option. If Harry Kane comes in the midfield, and eventually Conor Gallagher loves to go forward and that through balls kind of thing. So I think that could be a good operational thing for Tottenham and Conor Gallagher himself.
Fully agree with that, bro. And I do believe he can work well at Tottenham because I think with Højbjerg most probably going to Atletico Madrid and you've got a young Tottenham team, I think he can bring that energy to the Postecoglou system. But I think for Tottenham, the biggest key is to keep Harry Kane. If they lose Harry Kane, then I think even getting Conor Gallagher won't make sense because the team does not have goals and it's going to be very, very lacking. But once you add Conor Gallagher, Madison, Solomon, you have Bissouma and Dembele, Gallagher to Harry Kane, then Tottenham with their new centre back are going to look a very different team next season. And that makes me go to the next Chelsea news now. This is, it's not on the screen. I'm apologies for this. Just a second. The wrong news has come up. Chelsea focus is still on Caicedo. They want to get the deal done. First of all, coming to Bilal Bhai as a rival and absolutely Bilal bro, no problem. Yeah, bro, I will be available. No problem. You can let me know on the WhatsApp, bro. And absolutely big up to see Joshua, bro. So it's an absolute pleasure to see you, Joshua, bro. Please do give feedback on this new setup. I just trying a different stream. So do give a feedback, guys. It really means a lot. And guys, first of all, coming to Bilal Bhai here as a rival, as a Manchester United fan. From you, Bilal Bhai, when do you think this deal is going to happen? Or do you see a bit of spanner in the work for Caicedo from some another club?
I think another club is looking. I think it is either Liverpool or which club who is looking for Caicedo. I
I
think
think
it
it
is
was Arsenal, if I believe, but they
Arsenal. Arsenal, yes, Arsenal. But Arsenal have got their player, I think, Kai Havertz. So I think, in my opinion, Caicedo, Chelsea. I've been listening to this news since a long, long time. It's 1 month, probably 1.5 month. Chelsea have been tracking Moises Caicedo. Chelsea want Moises Caicedo, and then the offer comes, that 70 million offer, probably 80 million offer was that, and it was rejected by Brighton, who value him at 105 million. They value him a like to Declan Rice, who's gone for 105 million. In my opinion, I think Chelsea should act quickly because Liverpool are in dire need of a midfielder as well. So I think if Liverpool come with a big bid, and eventually, in my opinion, it's really really sorry to say, on your channel you are a Chelsea fan, but I think Liverpool is this at this point of time, and Chelsea are a bit low because you know this fact. Chelsea need to develop Liverpool. I think Liverpool have that manager who can develop them in one season as well, because Jurgen Klopp, you've seen the fact he's a brilliant mastermind, and he can actually place Caicedo in that list, who can improve in Jurgen Klopp himself. So I think Chelsea need to act fast because already Caicedo wants Chelsea. Caicedo loves Chelsea as well. So I think if the player is keen to joining them, they should act as soon as possible, because they did pay 105 million for Enzo Fernandez, who was yet to prove himself, although he played brilliantly in World Cup, and eventually he was very good in Chelsea colors, and he is right now as well. So I think they should go for him as well, because if you are signing two world class midfielders in your midfield, you can operate really really well in that midfield department, and which is probably the heart of everything. So I think Chelsea should act fast on this deal before any other club capitalizes on this opportunity.
Fully agree with that, bro. And for me on Caicedo, see, I've been saying on this channel for a long time, Caicedo is like a glue to a team, and I think Caicedo is going to massively improve a team. I think Caicedo coming in really frees Enzo, and Caicedo is a player I've wanted at Chelsea for a very long time because what Moses Caicedo provides to Chelsea is it frees into Enzo Fernandez. Caicedo is an aggressor in the midfield, a player that's really good for tackling, interceptions, and a guy that brings energy, versatility. And what Moses Caicedo really brings to Chelsea is Chelsea can be safe when under counter attack by opposition, and he can give more freedom to Enzo Fernandez. People who watch Enzo Fernandez for Argentina, Chelsea last season, the guy was spraying 7 long balls last season for Chelsea per game. Just believe he can play a bit upfield with Jackson, Nkunku, Meduke, even Olise, and then you have Sterling or a Mudryk. Man, he's gonna cook badly. Enzo Fernandez is gonna cook badly, and Caicedo will give him the freedom. And I believe Chelsea should be doing anything they can to sign Caicedo. And next season, having a midfield of Enzo Caicedo with backups in Castillo and Santos, I think our future is set with these 4 youngsters. And I think Chelsea future will be very, very bright. I think we should not be haggling over 5 or 10 million because let's be honest, Brighton are not going to take any lower bid. We are just wasting a time and time and time. And then the preseason will be late, Caicedo will be late, and then the season won't start good. I want in the first game of the season, Enzo and Caicedo starting against Liverpool,
You
holding
want
Liverpool
Caicedo
victory.
to gel up with the squad as well,
Exactly.
and come as soon as possible to arrive with the teammates, to play with the teammates, and make that connection with Enzo Fernandez and the midfield and the attack. So I think you need to act really fast upon it, because 5 to 10 million for a big, very much high quality player doesn't make sense
Hmm.
for me if you are handling over it. So I think that should make
I think
sense,
it's
because
still more than 5-10 million. I think the problem with Bilal Bhai is I think we might have acted earlier for Caicedo once Declan Rice signed for Arsenal for 105 million. Now Brighton have got a bit greedy. Now they want 100 million, and I think that's ludicrous. That is absolutely ludicrous if Brighton want 100. And this is why now Brighton want 100, Chelsea want 80, and there's a 20 million gap.
because they
That's
know,
where the problem is, Bilal
because
Bhai.
in my opinion, they know the fact that even if Caicedo has agreed personal terms with Chelsea, they
Hmm.
know that Chelsea don't have European football this season, and they have European football this season, and eventually
Hmm.
they are not in need to sell Caicedo. Chelsea are in need to sign Caicedo. So I think
Exactly.
that makes sense, and that is why there is so much. Even Deserbi comes out and says that I know. Caicedo is a is a Brighton player right now. I cannot change the mind. Only the owners can change his mind, or probably stuff like that. And eventually,
Hmm.
we'll find a replacement, even if he goes, or probably stuff like that. So I think they're coming out on the media. They're saying the stuff, and but eventually they want a high price for him, because they know they don't have the need to sell him, and Chelsea have a dire need to sign him. So that is the fact that separates the two parties at this point of time.
Absolutely agreed, Bilal bhai. And for me, that is the thing. There's really Brighton know that Chelsea have earned 220-30 million from the sale. So they want to get the best bit out of it. But Chelsea don't want to get bullied like they previously used to do. And I think this is why there's an impasse over deal. But I think Brighton will be smart to sell him. They
But I
know they
think,
won't get.
in my opinion, the way Chelsea started their deals, like 100 million for Enzo Fernandez, and so many other players you signed for
Hmm.
so many high money, like 60 to 65 million for Christopher and Kugu and stuff like that. You did not negotiate well. But at this point of time, when you're negotiating so long that it makes a bit more exaggerating point. Like, you should act earlier upon this, and eventually
But I think
that is
Bilal
the.
bhai, like for me in today's time, like you see with even Mason Mount to United, Rice to Arsenal, sometimes you just cannot negotiate. If you want a player in a team for a style of play, you pay that money. The problem with Chelsea has been we make bad signings. That has been the problem. Enzo so far has been one of the most best signing we have made in recent time. Declan Rice is a fantastic signing by Arsenal. Mount can do a job for Manchester United, and especially Onana will do a massive job for United. When you know a player is going to play well, you make that signing. The problem with Chelsea and United has been that we have the reputation of paying big money for Lukaku's, for Moratas, and disasters that happen with that. And because of the reputation, the club is afraid to make a big spending because they think, oh, this might turn on a Lukaku. But you need to be understanding that past is past, forget it, and sign the right player. And for me, Bilal Bhai, this is the best player we can sign in the market. I think the only other player is playing at Real Madrid, Chumeni, and he will never come to Chelsea. Real will not let such talent go. So I don't believe there are many players like
Chouameni, in my
Casemiro.
opinion, is the most important player, even for any system. In any
Hmm.
system, he's that important player. And this Real Madrid, even in my video as well, I've talked about him. That Chouameni is that glue in the midfield in that 4-1-2-1-2 formation, the diamond formation. I think you need that defensive solidity, and Chouameni will provide it to Real Madrid. So I
Exactly.
think it would be his comeback season in Real Madrid, and eventually it would book his place once for all, and those transfer rumors will be abolished once after all.
Absolutely, Bilal bhai. And I believe, Bilal bhai, you have to go. So
Yes,
people,
I have to go, and we'll be meeting tonight on
absolute pleasure,
Mbappe's
Bilal
transfer
bhai.
saga. So thank you so
Absolutely,
much for
Bilal bhai.
inviting me on our channel, and I think I enjoyed a lot, and discussions with Gurshan Bhai as well. So thank you so much, and peace
Pleasure,
out.
Bilal bhai. Is just your channel as well. And people do go and subscribe to FTWB. Thank you, Bilal bhai. Was an absolute pleasure, bhai. So, guys, now this was on Caicedo. Going on towards the next Chelsea news, and quickly, I'm going to change a bit of setup here. Oh my God, that's a bad one. And now going on to the next news now regarding Chelsea. This is regarding the next one. Just a second for me. It's on a screen, guys. Please do check it out. Makaila Mudrik has said that I feel good because playing under Pochettino as our manager, it is nice, it is enjoyable, and it is a new team which is also enjoyable. Yes, it is not all my potential, it's only 20%. And guys, this is the thing I've been telling you all for a long time. The team is changing, the atmosphere around the team is changing, and this is the biggest thing Pochettino has done around here. And this is why he was the best manager wanted Chelsea to bring up, because he's very good with the youngsters. He makes you fit that gap contest, and I think he brings the best out of the players. And Mykhailo Mudryk is a fantastic talent who just needs time and patience. And if there's any manager that's going to bring the best out of him in the market, that is Mauricio Pochettino. And this is why, for me, this is a match made and a fantastic match for me. And this is why, guys, I really believe this is the best signing Chelsea could have brought in Pochettino. And Poch is going to do a very, very good job for Mykhailo Mudryk. The team atmosphere right now is good. Everybody's feeling good. The atmosphere around the place is good. The team is feeling energetic, and the place is happy. And that's what I want to see as a fan. And I think people is really, really good to see. Going on to the next one now, the next news now. This is also regarding Pochettino and the quote he brought out. Interesting quote from Poch and Nkunku. For the circumstances in these two games, we use him as a striker, but he can play number 10, number 8, or on the sides. As I've been saying on this channel for a very, very long time, guys, like Nkunku is a player that's, for me, a better player behind the striker. I really enjoyed his performance against Brighton. He did well in his hold-up play. He scored goal, but I still believe he was not as much as involved as Jackson was. I still believe Christopher Nkunku is a better player behind the striker, where he can play with the striker, hold up play, make that 1 and 2 runs, and that is his best position. And Christopher Nkunku really played a very, very good game for me in the Brighton game, but I still want to see him as a striker, and I still believe that is his best position overall. Now, people, this was the news regarding Chelsea. I do hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. Please do hit the like button and do subscribe to the channel. Your support really, really means a lot to me. And please, guys, do subscribe, do support the channel, do like the video. Your support is the one that keeps me going.